the third day morning, before the light broke through the night, while the world was still in silence, heaven stirred with holy might. Tears were carried to the garden, spices held in trembling hands, but death had already lost its power to the promise God had planned. They came expecting loss and sorrow. They came prepared to grieve once more. They did not know that resurrection had already crossed the door. What they thought was sealed and finished, those already had begun. Early on the third day, life defeated death. Hope awakened from the grave as heaven drew its breath. Early on the third day, the darkness had to flee. Jesus rose in power and glory and changed eternity. The stone was moved, the tomb lay open, not to let the Savior rise, but to reveal the mighty wonder that had already happened inside. Angels spoke with calm authority. Why do you look for life in death? The risen King stood just outside, calling names with living breath. Grave clothes folded, left behind, proof that death had lost its claim. The same voice that spoke creation now declared the grave was shamed. What began in darkest suffering now burst forth in blinding light. The third day carried heaven's answer to the sorrow of the night. Early on the third day, mercy conquered fear. Every promise God had spoken stood fulfilled and clear. Early on the third day, the power of hell was done. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, rose victorious as one. He walked the garden, spoke her name, turned despair to burning faith. Mourning changed to holy wonder as she stood before his face. What the cross had paid in suffering now stood alive in grace and truth. Resurrection didn't erase the scars, it crowned them proof. The third day was not chance or fate, it was the moment heaven chose. The grave was timed, the stone was set, but resurrection rose. Death thought it had the final word, but heaven answered loud and clear. The King still lives, the grave is empty, and love has conquered fear. We lift our praise with resurrection power. We lift our song with angels sound. The same Spirit that raised our Savior He's a